There is that one thing that I have noticed on my Twitter timeline. Plenty of the content creators have seen a tweet from official Elden Ring account. And the guy's being like, thank you for playing Elden Ring and for all your support during the month since release. We appreciate all the discussions surrounding the game and are working on further improvements for updates going forward. We hope you continue to enjoy your adventures in the lands between. And you see, I am not really a big fan of content creators just being like, oh, look, they listened. Okay, it's nice to be positive and stuff. But what happened is that plenty of content creators like Oroboro, Peeve, and so on, they are like, man, look at that. They are actually responding. They're realizing our existence. They are actually bothering about PvP and so on. The thing is, though, guys, the Elden Ring account on Twitter, I am almost certain not managed by From Software. It is account that is managed by Bandai Namco. The whole fucking thingy is just a PR move. We have a problem with From Software that is way worse than like if they listen or not. I'm going to bring example that many people can be like, oh look, but this is PvP game and completely different, it is multiplayer dependent. People like, for example, Riot August for League of Legends, yeah? And the guy is essentially every single day, or like, almost every single day, sometimes like a few times a day, talking about like the balance changes and so on publicly on Twitter. He's engaging in discussions with players. There's like constant contact between developers and the players. There is not something like that between players for Elden Ring and the developers of the game. Companies that bother about balance of the game have pretty much the whole sections of people that just working on the particular topic. You have like a basically balance section of the company, for example, yeah, where you have like people hired that working for the sake of to balance the game. And like sometimes they do better jobs, sometimes worse, but they are here to actually balance the game. I don't know if From Software has something like that. It doesn't really look like it. If From Software had people that focus on the balance of the game, the Ice Spear would not get back to be like useless fucking tool. Ice Spear, for example, was very good tool to deal with the shields. We have very little of viable tools to deal with the shields. Actually, the less experienced players is going to believe that, for example, Piercing Fang is a counter to the shield. The unblockable or even parrying, which is totally a not reliable way to deal with the shields, yeah? Like, would believe that it actually, we have like somewhat of the counters to the shields, but the reality is we really don't have the counters to, for example, a very strong shield poke, yeah? And Ice Spear allowed us to have a counter of some sort. And they have fucking removed that because it turned out it was unintended. But not everything that is unintended is bad. Like, an example of it might be chain casting, which also was not intended. And, well, they fucking removed that. Not entirely because they are incompetent. But if they are going to continue with their idea of attempting to methodically remove everything that is marked as a glitch without second thought, the chain casting gonna be actually removed completely. We need to have a fundamental changes within structures of From Software as a company, and not like some fucking public stance of Bandai Namco that is going to send that tweet that, oh look, we are listening, oh, we're gonna improve. No, like it doesn't fucking matter. Maybe even right now we're gonna have a situation that the guys is going to send the list of things that community consider as good or bad. Maybe like the game gonna get for the better. This is like small victory. But all these problems that we have for the 13 last years are still gonna be coming back because From Software just they don't have structure to deal with the issues within their games. We know that for sure because they are fucking seizing the patch releases after like certain amount of time, basically leaving the game on its own, clearly not communicating with the players. There is no dialogue. There is like absolutely fucking nothing. It's only like, it's only publisher in form of the Bandai Namco that attempts to make things look good. Whereas in reality, like From Software is completely detached from the community. Scott, out of like bigger content creators, has the best understanding of actually what this message means.
This just means they can probably focus on balancing things. So we might still have, we might have a pretty balanced version of the game at some point, but they're not going to recode their entire engine. They're not going to change their netcode. They're not going to add like dedicated servers. They're not going to do any of this stuff. There's no chance that happens. It's fairly exciting, but I'm tempering my expectations because I know what is physically capable. I know they're not capable of reworking their entire engine for a patch to make the netcode better, for example. So at the very least, we'll have balancing fixes, which is great. I just hope they're enough to retain some players and maybe even bring some people back. But that is going to be it for now. I just wanted to go over that because
they are not going to do like a big fundamental changes. They are not going to do anything besides tweaking up some numbers. Whereas we probably need a whole fucking reworks of the systems. But From Software probably not gonna go that far. From Software is really tragical when it comes to communication with their players. They are just fucking releasing the product and then try to somewhat manage around it. And essentially because of the whole systems of the communication that they have with their community, it's just not working very well. You can have like opinion of, oh, this is like PvE focused game and PvP could not exist at all. And you know what? I'm actually fucking siding with you if you think that way. I actually think that these games could do pretty much almost as well as they do right now without PvP whatsoever. But still, there is PvP in this game. It is part of the product that people make shit tons of content around. And overall, for example, if you're going to look on the YouTube videos, one of the most popular ones are in fact somewhat related to PvP. It like brings the interactions between players to the table and make like overall good content, which positively affects probably the sales itself. I guess if there is like already PvP in the game and From Software is huge fucking company, maybe that would be a good idea to take care of it. And like for real for once, you know, not fucking like release plenty of shitty, almost meaningless regulations that basically do almost nothing. Like maybe there would be a good idea to add maybe like the 5 additional potential employees to 300 something that they already have, to form like a new team that is going to finally focus on actually the long-term healthiness of the freaking game. Like, you know, to make it actually somewhat viable for the sake of the future, because I'm pretty sure the future games that From Software is going to release that are basically being worked on the same engine anyway, that is simply updated year after year. Maybe you know, it would positively affect the future outcome of the other games as well. Most likely it would. Yeah, like the From Software most likely gonna receive the fucking Game of the Year title for the Elden Ring, because yeah, like Elden Ring is fantastic. Yeah, that's for sure. As the whole game, it's just very, very, very good. And just that, like, let's call it the real end game, as overall multiplayer interaction is, kind of fucking suffers. Yeah. So casual players that buying the games in the fucking hundreds every single year, well, they are going to be fucking happy with the title. It's the dedicated fans that going to essentially suffer, people that going to stay with the game. But yeah, kind of finishing like my thoughts about the overall overhyping the response of the marketing team of Bandai Namco to the PvP issues or overall multiplayer and patching issues of Elden Ring. I wouldn't get the hopes high, and rather would probably Sagas kind of criticizing From Software for not taking the multiplayer part of their game actually seriously. Because At this point, it is kind of unacceptable, to be honest. Like, either like drop it or just take care of it. Because like seriously, it is just ridiculous that for the 13 years, these games have the state of PvP and overall multiplayer like they have. It's been 13 years, they don't care. That's the point. It's been 13 years. It's time for the fucking changes. Never took it seriously. Exactly. And that's why it's time to finally change it. It's about fucking time, man.